It's been so long since I have posted, so I have so much to share and to talk with you about. I was just watching another clip, and it kind of just reminded me of a situation. So I know that I mentioned that my elder two sons are struggling emotionally. My 7-year old is a great kid. To be honest with you, like every child has their own personality, but my 7-year old he is my sweetest kid, you know? And so, like, he always wants to do things nice. He holds the door open for you. He'll come to me if I'm sick because I go through periods where sometimes I'm sick like all the time, and then other periods I'm good, I'm okay, you know. So, but when I'm sick, like he'll come to me and he's like, "Mommy, are you okay? You know, do you need anything? Do you want me to get some water?" You know. So he's that kid. Like he's the one. He's just like, he always wants everyone to be okay. Well, when my eldest left, it was traumatizing for him. And it's been a year and a half because he left April 2015. And when he left, I believe I'm sure I mentioned that he left in handcuffs because he gave my 7-year old a concussion. Now, what happened was my eldest had stolen my friend's daughter's cell phone. And so we're looking for the cell phone. I know I told you this, so we looked for this cell phone, couldn't find it. So he, my 7-year old saw him, and so my eldest got so upset that he hit him with a pillow, and then his head banged up against television. He had, you know, cut in back his head. So, but anyway, since then, like prior to that, he never had any issues in school, and he had one incident after my son left where he was at school and he was just being really defiant, But it was so odd and it was so weird for his teacher because she's like, he's so sweet. He's my sweetest kid. So I let her know what was going on. I talked with him when he got home, and then I never had. This was towards the end of the school year, in April, so I never had another issue out of that school. So and then at home, like when he's with us, like he's fine. Now he's always been hyperactive, so I knew that he could possibly have ADHD. He didn't get the diagnosis until last school year. So, but like at home with us, he's fine. He argues and he fights with his siblings, but it's like, sibling rivalry. Well, last school year it was just horrific for him. I mean, he ran out of the building, he was running out of the class, it would take multiple people, as I'm saying this, I feel like I'm repeating myself, so I need to watch my posts because I know I said this before. But anyway, so this school year, things are bad. Like this has really progressed to a level where my reaction is, listen, we need to figure this out. Like my life is too demanding. I have too much on my plate. I can't be at this school every single day. So if you guys can't handle this, then what type we know he has ADHD. We know he has this trauma. We know that he hasn't seen his brother in a year and a half. We know that this is affecting him. We know that at this point we can't take him to see his brother. I believe in my heart that if he saw his brother, then it would calm a lot of this, his behavior down because he would have his brother. So, so Friday, my son had a very bad situation at school, and he attacked a kid. And he was so angry. He was so mad at this kid that he, was like rushing after this kid. The teachers had separated them and was talking to Jack, and Jack He ran again after this kid was trying to get him. So they got him into the principal's office and they were talking to him. And um, the principal, he said that my son just stopped. Like he was engaged in a conversation, but he just stopped and looked at him and was like, "Are we done? Can I go hurt this kid?" Because, he's like upset. But it's like a, it's like a psychiatric issue because the way that the principal explained it to me was like he like completely like blacked out, he's like just not himself. And so we're sitting in a meeting and we're discussing is myself, the principal, his teacher, and a social worker. And it was another lady there. I don't know exactly what her title is, but she was there as well. So it's five of us. And they're all Caucasian. They're all white. I'm, of course, Black. And so I made a statement. I said, listen, we're all adults. No shade, no disrespect. But you guys have to understand there are $1 million homes behind my apartments. Where I live, they don't accept Medicaid. The way that, this is so interesting, listen to this. The way that they keep low income families out of these practices is they accept a certain amount of Medicaid patients. I need to see a neurologist here. If I'm having neurological issues, I have to drive an hour and 20 minutes to Ann Arbor. Because here, the neurologists that are here in my area, either they do not accept state Medicaid at all, or if they are required to accept state Medicaid, they only accept a certain amount. So either someone has to move or someone has to die before I can get into the neurology here that accepts my insurance, which is ridiculous. I was explaining to them that their experience in the community is not the same as my experience in a community. The social worker asked me, she said, well, can I make a phone call for you? And I can make a phone call myself. I make phone calls all day, every day. That's not an issue. The issue is I can't get anyone who will accept my insurance to get this 7-year-old kid evaluated so that we can have a proper diagnosis. This is so deja vu with my eldest. And so she went on and she made a statement. She's laughing and asking me about my son's previous school prior to us moving here to Lansing. And so she said, well, Jack said that I wish I was at my old school because at my old school, I could take off my shoes, I can throw them at people, we can run around and the teacher didn't care. And like she's asking me, is this true? So I said to her, I said, are you asking me this because we come from Detroit? So in my mind, don't judge my city if you haven't been there. You have no idea what Detroit is like. For you to even ask that question, I know that you've never been there. Dearborn is not Detroit. Farmington Hills, not Detroit. Like the city of Detroit, clearly she's never been there for her to even ask me this question. Like I'm thinking, like, do you think we come from a war zone place? Like, what is up with this? Now, there were other things said. Like, I seriously just had to excuse myself from the meeting. I was just like, not after that statement. I stayed for a while, but there were some things said that was extremely frustrating because one of the things that my son needs is an IEP. And find out at this meeting that he could have had that last year had they marked him for emotional needs child, I believe is the title. Well, they said, well, in the 30 days that we were evaluating him, he didn't display this behavior. You guys have you have a child psychologist at this school. He knows that when you are when one, not even a child, when someone has experienced trauma, there are triggers to that trauma that can make them react in certain ways. Okay, so he didn't behave erratically or crazy or wild and uncontrollable for 30 days, but you've seen the behavior prior to the 30 days, and for sure the child psychologist knows that this behavior is going to last, or his emotional welfare is going to need some assistance because the trauma didn't go anywhere. He still is experiencing it and he's still hurt by it. But so I like this person. You know, she's been really good to me and my family. She's been really patient. So Monday this week, because this happened Friday, so I was thinking about her over the weekend. And I don't want to be upset. I'm a very direct person and I don't like to burn bridges. My relationships that I make, especially now, are extremely important to me. The majority of the relationships I make, of course, are professional. So I want to be able, I don't want to feel a certain type of way while working with her because I'm going to have to continue to work with her. So I'm debating whether I should say something to her. And so I did. So I let her know, that I met with her Monday morning and let her know that there were several things said on Friday at the Friday meeting that was very offensive. And I just did not want her to come across the wrong Black person and they react in a way that I didn't. I didn't react to let her know what you just said to me was extremely offensive. But I did ask some questions and I did kind of laugh. Like she asked me if I knew what SSI was. Yes, I know what SSI is, So I was just explaining to her and she's like a little bit defensive, just trying to get and she actually started crying. Like she, I guess, wanted to just really explain where she was coming from. But I really wanted her to understand that, listen, you need to understand that we experience life differently. We experience life differently. Things are not just handed to us. And I'm not saying that things are handed to white people either. All I'm saying is that there is a difference. It's a difference. And I just wanted her to understand the statements, she needs to really, especially with what is going on in the media right now, there are a lot of African Americans who are extremely upset. And I just want her to, my purpose. I watched it. I said my purpose and my why in another video because I watched a really good clip. I posted it on my Facebook page. Maybe I posted on this channel as well. But my purpose is to bring awareness. So I just wanted her to be willing to open up her mind enough to understand that, listen, we really seriously do not have the same life. So when you guys bring me into the office and say, listen, he needs to see a psychiatrist, and I'm telling you, I know that he needs to see a psychiatrist, I have not found one for him because there's not one in this area. I cannot commit to getting on the road and driving over an hour to go anywhere. I cannot commit. I've had meetings with my son who's an hour and a half away from me, and I've gotten sick the day before and had to call and let them know I can't make it. I had a seizure last night. So I can't commit. I cannot establish a relationship with a doctor that's an hour and a half away. Now, for me, myself, personally, I don't always take care, like my children come first. So if I have to miss an appointment, then that appointment is missed if it's because my child needs me. So I just thought that was interesting, and I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to try to make my videos shorter so that they're not so long, but I talk a lot and I have to explain like the whole situation because I want you guys to like understand every aspect. Like, I don't want to just give you my perspective. I want you to get the whole situation so that you can develop your own perspective or your own opinion about the situation. But it did turn out well. She took it well. I believe I handled it. I handled the situation well, and the purpose of that conversation, of course, like I said, was awareness, and I stated to her that if both races, if we both, or we all, because it's not just a black and white thing. I say that a lot to my eldest son. It's not just black and white. If we all will just realize, accept, and acknowledge the fact that this exists, the difference exists, the inequality exists, I believe that we could get along better and we could resolve things better if we just acknowledge versus like don't stay ignorant to your environment. Don't stay ignorant to the world that you live in. Like, open your eyes. Please realize, especially when you are working with minorities. Like, most of the children that go to my kids' school, they come from two-parent households. Not only am I a single mother, but I'm a single mother who has two children with severe psychological and emotional issues. My household is not a perfect household. There are crisis situations that happens within my household. Even with me being sick, I'm here by myself. I've had seizures here, several, with my children in the house. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Try to be aware, and if you do come across a situation where, like I came across this one, where someone doesn't get it and doesn't understand, let's try to educate each other, because she gave me her perspective, I gave her mine, and we understood each other. We kind of met and understood each other. So let's try to not be upset with each other, but let's just try to educate each other and just work together. So I just wanted to share that. I say that a lot. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.